3 in the morning. You get up for a glass of water. By the time you reach the kitchen, there's a soft thud behind you. Your British Shorthair landing on the floor, following in the dark, padding along without a sound. You didn't call it. You didn't shake a treat bag. It simply chose to come. That moment is a sign, one of many. The problem is that British Shorthairs show attachment in a language that most people were never taught to read, and because it doesn't look like the obvious affection of other breeds, it's easy to miss entirely. This video walks you through 10 specific signs that your British Shorthair is genuinely attached to you. Not as abstract ideas, but as precise behaviors you've almost certainly already seen without knowing what they meant. Stay through to sign number 9, because it's the one that surprises almost everyone. And sign number 4, most owners think it means nothing, but it means everything. Like this video before we begin. You're about to understand your cat in a way most people never will. That's worth a like in advance. The first sign is that your cat follows you from room to room, but stays at a distance. This one trips people up because they expect following to look like a dog following. Nose to heel, constant contact, visible need. A British Shorthair doesn't do that. Instead, it moves when you move, enters when you enter, settles in the same room. Not beside you necessarily, often a few feet away. Sometimes it just appears in a doorway and watches while you work. That's not indifference. That's attendance. The British Shorthair monitors the person it's attached to. It's keenly aware of where you are at all times, and it adjusts its location to keep you within range. Some cat behaviorists describe this as satellite behavior, the cat orbiting its person at a comfortable gravitational distance. The orbit is proof of the attachment. The second sign is that it greets you at the door. Not all cats do this, and the British Shorthair's version is particularly understated. It might not meow. It might not run to the mat. It might simply be sitting at the end of the hallway when the door opens, watching you walk in. Sometimes it rises, stretches, and walks over. Sometimes it stays, flicks its tail once, and blinks. But the key is that it's there. British Shorthairs that are not attached to their owners don't bother. The ones that are know your schedule. They know the sound of your car, the click of your gate, the specific jingle of your particular keys. If your British Shorthair is consistently near the door around the time you usually arrive home, that is not coincidence. That is connection. The third sign is that it sleeps near you, but not on you. The proximity of sleep is one of the most honest indicators of feline attachment because it occurs when the cat is at its most vulnerable. A cat chooses its sleep locations based on safety. Being near you means being near safety. What makes British Shorthairs distinctive here is the preference for near but not on. Other breeds sleep on laps, on faces, under chins. The British Shorthair tends to select the foot of the bed, the edge of the sofa, the chair beside yours. Same room, same night, just with enough space to be independent within the connection. If your British Shorthair has made a habit of being somewhere in your sleeping space, your bedroom, your sofa late at night, the attachment is real, even if it's not touching you. The fourth sign is the slow blink. This is the one most owners miss. They've seen it. They just didn't know what they were watching. When a British Shorthair makes sustained eye contact with you and then slowly closes and opens its eyes, that deliberate, unhurried half-blink, it is performing a specific social behavior that researchers call the affiliative slow blink. Studies, including research published in 2020 by Karen Nacombe and colleagues at the University of Sussex, confirmed that this behavior functions as a positive emotional communication between cats and their people. It's equivalent to a relaxed smile. British Shorthairs are notably restrained in their vocalizations and physical affection. The slow blink is one of the primary ways they say something. If you get several in a day from across the room, your cat is actively communicating positive regard. Most owners sit in the same room as this declaration and don't register it at all. The fifth sign is that it chooses to be on the same level as you. This requires some observation. Watch where your British Shorthair positions itself when you're in the room. When you sit on the floor, does it come down to the floor? When you work at a desk, does it find a surface nearby? When you're in bed, is it suddenly on the bed or at bed height? Cats read elevation as social information. An attached British Shorthair will adjust its height to maintain a kind of social equality with the person it's bonded with. It will come down from its high shelf when you sit. It will seek a surface at your level when you lie down. This is not random. It's relational. The sixth sign is that it gives you its back. Trust in cats is a spatial concept. The back of the head, the spine, the rear end, these are the angles a prey animal never shows to something it considers a threat. When a British Shorthair turns its back to you and settles, facing away, relaxed, apparently ignoring you, it is demonstrating that you don't register as a threat at any level. You've probably had this happen and felt vaguely rejected. The cat settling with its back to you, seemingly uninterested. The reality is the opposite. It's comfortable enough in your presence to be completely unguarded. That requires trust, and trust requires attachment. The seventh sign is that it touches you briefly and then moves away. Not jumping into your lap, not demanding sustained contact. Just the occasional deliberate touch. A paw placed momentarily on your knee. A nose pressed briefly to your hand. A head lowered quickly against your arm. And then the cat is gone, back to its own space. These brief contacts are deposits. The British Shorthair is checking in, confirming connection, reinforcing the bond on its own timeline. They happen more often than you probably realize. Once you start watching for them, you'll find they've been happening constantly. The eighth sign is that it vocalizes differently with you than with others. British Shorthairs are quiet cats. They don't meow constantly, but they do have a vocal register that they use with their trusted people. A low, soft trill or chirp, often when entering a room, sometimes when making eye contact. These vocalizations are not needs. They're social greetings. They don't happen with strangers, and they don't happen with people the cat doesn't regard as its own. If your cat makes a small sound when it sees you, not a demanding meow, but a soft, quiet syllable, note how often that happens. It won't happen with the delivery person. It happens because it's you. The ninth sign is that it brings you its toys. This one surprises people. It's more commonly associated with dogs, so owners often dismiss it or interpret it as the cat wanting to play. Sometimes it does want to play. But when a British Shorthair carries a toy into your room and drops it near you without soliciting a game, just deposits it and sits down, something else is happening. Animal behaviorists suggest this is a gift behavior, a behavior rooted in cats' instinctive practice of bringing prey to offspring or trusted companions. The item has value to the cat. Giving it to you is a statement about how the cat categorizes you. British Shorthairs that do this are placing you in a category of social importance. Most owners find the toy, step around it, and never think about what it meant. The 10th sign is that it seeks you out during stress. This is the most definitive sign of all. When a British Shorthair is frightened by a loud noise, an unfamiliar person, a vet visit, construction outside, watch which direction it moves. A cat with no attachment to its owner moves toward a hiding place. A cat with deep attachment moves toward its person. The British Shorthair doesn't collapse dramatically. It doesn't vocalize in distress, but it will quietly reorient toward you. It might sit closer than usual. It might follow you more tightly. It might come to wherever you are in the house and simply be there, at its usual dignified distance, but unmistakably orienting on you as a source of safety. You are the location it heads for when the world becomes uncertain. That is not a small thing. That is the definition of attachment. Most of these 10 signs have probably already been part of your daily life with your cat. The following at 3 in the morning. The blink from across the room. The toy left near your chair. They were happening and they were meaningful, and they'll keep happening now that you know what to look for. Tell me in the comments, which of these surprised you most? And which signs do you already recognize from your own British Shorthair? I'd genuinely like to know whether sign 9 catches more people off guard than sign 4.